There has been worldwide efforts to create kind of a regulatory infrastructure for the whole system to avoid frauds, to avoid decentralized and name-only issues, etc. So let's try it the other way around. Can Web3 be built without regulation or further regulation?
Let's first maybe look at the version of decentralization, and then how do you regulate it properly. I think both the things are important. So decentralization won't happen, and is just about focusing on technology. That's the wrong approach. If you keep thinking about which protocol has done what level of decentralization, that's not going to solve this. You have to think about how do you control the ownership of the end user without controlling it. That's the message we need to pass. Now, regulations, they will actually define this. So regulations are one version of governance, but now the question is not how they are to be applied. The question is where they have to be applied. So are you going to apply them at the protocol level? Will you program it somewhere? Will you leave it to certain owners who would operate certain specific operations on the chains? Or would you allow them to participate equally and yet govern? So regulations are a framework which will have to fit in somewhere. They may fit at the top level, at the protocol level. They may fit it, at a different level, which can be, an operating layer, or they can fit at, equivalent layer as a user, like you or me, who would be operating and yet governing. So this regulatory framework definition should come out in as well. Usually we talk about what should be the regulation, but my point here is we should talk about how it is to be applied, because if you pick up from the last point of decentralization and to the regulation, the whole bridge is burnt the moment you apply regulation. I mean, from the decentralization perspective, from Joe's perspective, but the moment you make the regulation as a pillar under the bridge, you're helping it forward. You're not burning it. So that's how the regulation should be seen, or a regulatory framework should come around.